Well, the Prime Minister's address to the nation, that's what the big focus is on this special edition of Left, Right and Centre. Sanket and I, for the next 60 minutes, will take you through all the major reactions to that economic package and another lockdown. Sanket.
Now, he has mentioned the word migrants 5 times.
In 32 minutes.
In 32 minutes, absolutely. So, obviously, the migrant crisis is playing on the Prime Minister's mind. But I think the big focus here was not to just restrict his speech to the crisis at this present moment, but to actually broad base and make or convert this into an opportunity. The whole speech was about converting this crisis into an opportunity. If you were, imagine a world in a post-coronavirus scenario, and a very, very significant point that he has made is to launch a campaign. And I have a feeling that this was in the offing for a very long time. The reason why the package got delayed, because it's been given a name now and it has become a proper campaign for the government. It's called Atmanirbhar Bharat Abhiyan, which means a self-reliant India campaign, which the government is going to launch. It's very clear, Nidhi, that number one, a lockdown 4 is going to be in place, though, as you were saying, it's going to be very different from 1, 2 and 3, perhaps far more restrictions. I don't know why it's still being called
far less restrictions.
Far less restrictions. Yeah. I don't know why it is still being called a lockdown.
I think the key takeaway on the lockdown, though, was when the Prime Minister said that, look, experts have told us the coronavirus is going to be here for a long time, but we cannot let our lives revolve around that. We can't be held back because of that. We need to wear our masks, we need to maintain the 2 gaz ki duri, and we need to move on. So I think that kind of indicated that the Prime Minister is now focusing on a road ahead. He spent about 18 to 20 minutes, as you said, talking about this bigger economic vision. Again, how will that play out? I think there are some concerns now that will India become more protectionist? He says India will not become protectionist. We're still going to be open to other countries. But it'll be interesting to see how this local ke liye vocal banna hai, as he put it, how that is going to play out.
Actually going to play out.
In fact, I think we have that soundbite.
Sure.
Let's play that out for our viewers. Let's listen into what the Prime Minister said on going local.
हाल में सरकार ने कोरोना संकट से जुड़ी जो आर्थिक घोषणाएं की थी, जो रिजर्व बैंक के फैसले थे और आज जिस आर्थिक पैकेज का ऐलान हो रहा है, उसे जोड़ दें तो ये करीब करीब 20 लाख करोड़ रुपए का है। 20 लाख करोड़ रुपए का है। ये पैकेज भारत की जीडीपी का करीब करीब 10% है। साथियों, कोरोना संकट ने हमें लोकल मैन्युफैक्चरिंग, लोकल मार्केट, लोकल सप्लाई चेन, इसका भी महत्व बराबर समझा दिया है। संकट के समय में लोकल ने ही हमारी डिमांड पूरी की है, हमें इस लोकल ने ही बचाया है। अपने लोकल के लिए वोकल बनना है, लोकल के लिए वोकल बनना है। न सिर्फ लोकल प्रोडक्ट्स खरीदने हैं, बल्कि उनका गर्व से प्रचार भी करना है। साइंटिस्ट बताते हैं कि कोरोना लंबे समय तक हमारे जीवन का हिस्सा बना रहेगा, लेकिन साथ ही हम ऐसा भी नहीं होने दे सकते कि हमारी जिंदगी सिर्फ और सिर्फ कोरोना के इर्द गिर्द ही सिमट कर रह जाए। हम मास्क पहनेंगे, 2 गज दूरी का पालन करेंगे, लेकिन अपने लक्ष्यों को दूर नहीं होने देंगे। साथियों, कोरोना संकट ने हमें लोकल मैन्युफैक्चरिंग, लोकल मार्केट, लोकल सप्लाई चेन, इसका भी महत्व बराबर समझा दिया है। संकट के समय में लोकल ने ही हमारी डिमांड पूरी की है, हमें इस लोकल ने ही बचाया है। अपने लोकल के लिए वोकल बनना है, लोकल के लिए वोकल बनना है। न सिर्फ लोकल प्रोडक्ट्स खरीदने हैं, बल्कि उनका गर्व से प्रचार भी करना है।
Well, our first guest this evening is Rajasthan's Chief Minister, Mr. Ashok Gehlot, who's joining us live from Jaipur this evening. Gehlot जी, सबसे पहले आपकी फर्स्ट रिएक्शन क्या है जो प्रधानमंत्री ने अभी जो एड्रेस किया है? How did you see it, Mr. Gehlot?
ये इसको हिंदी में कहते हैं देर आए दुरुस्त आए, बेटर लेट देन नेवर। इस रूप में लंबे अरसे से इंतजार था, स्टिमुलस पैकेज आना चाहिए देश के अंदर। उसके बगैर लॉकडाउन करना तो आसान है, लॉकडाउन को खोलना बड़ा मुश्किल काम होता है। सारी इकोनॉमी कोलैप्स हो गई और उसके दरमियान में आपको वापस खोलो, वापस इकोनॉमी को, सब रेवेन्यू राज्यों की और पूरे देश की, पता ही नहीं क्या होगा आने वाले वक्त के अंदर। बिना बड़े पैकेज के संभव नहीं था। एक अच्छा प्रयास किया कि 20 लाख करोड़ का पैकेज देने की घोषणा की गई। पहले 1.70 करोड़ की बात की थी, तो बहुत मामूली बात थी। वर्ण योजनाओं को लागू की जाती उसके अंदर तक। तो अब जो पैकेज आया 20 लाख करोड़ का, मैं समझता हूँ जो कहा गया कि जीडीपी में करीब 10% होगा, उम्मीद करते हैं कि इसमें जो कल से घोषणा होनी शुरू होगी तब मालूम पड़ेगा वास्तव में इसका कितना बड़ा इम्पैक्ट है और किन किन क्षेत्रों में किस प्रकार से डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन होगा ये पूरे देश के अंदर, किस प्रकार से एमएसएमई सेक्टर है या कोई भी सेक्टर है जिसमें आप देखिए मजदूर, किसान, कोई प्रकार ऐसा देश में नहीं जो दुखी नहीं है, दुकानदार हो, ट्रेड एंड कॉमर्स। तो मैं समझता हूँ कि ये पैकेज आना स्वागत योग्य है और बहुत देर से दिया गया है, बहुत पहले से जरूरत इसकी थी। और इसके लिए तमाम पार्टियां, हमारी कांग्रेस प्रेसिडेंट सोनिया गांधी ने, राहुल गांधी ने बहुत पहले से कहा, पैकेज की मांग सब करे थे, पर इंतजार सबको था। आज जो घोषणा की गई, मैं समझता हूँ कि ये अच्छी शुरुआत होगी, जिससे कि लोगों को कॉन्फिडेंस बढ़ेगा देश के अंदर, गाड़ी पटरी पे आएगी, जो कि पूरी तरह पटरी उतर चुकी है। पता नहीं क्या होगा देश के अंदर, ये लोगों को चिंता थी।
मैं दो एक चीजें गहलोत साहब आपसे पूछना चाहता हूं। एक तो इकोनॉमिक पैकेज पे थोड़ा सा बाद में आएंगे। गहलोत साहब, ये लॉकडाउन 4 अब आने वाला है, जिसमें प्रधानमंत्री की अगर माने तो इसके नियम सबसे अलग होंगे, एकदम अलग होंगे। राज्यों की एक बड़ी उनकी बात को प्राथमिकता दी जाएगी। आप इसको किस तरीके से देखते हैं? अब लॉकडाउन 4 किस तरीके का होना चाहिए?
देखिए, लॉकडाउन 4 जिसको हमने कहा है मॉडिफाइड लॉकडाउन, ये बहुत लंबे अरसे से हमारी मांग थी कि पूरे देश के अंदर केंद्र सरकार सब फीडबैक लेके गाइडलाइन शुरू कर सकती है, बना सकती है। हर राज्य की स्थिति अलग अलग तरह की है वहाँ, सभी तरह से, और राज्यों के अंदर भी अलग अलग रीजन होते हैं, डिस्ट्रिक्ट होते हैं, उनकी अलग प्रोफाइल होती है। ये काम सब राज्य सरकारों को छोड़ना चाहिए। और अभी तक सारे जो नोटिफिकेशन जारी होते गए, केंद्र होते गए, और मुझे ये कहते हुए संतोष है कि पूरा देश एकजुट दिखा दुनिया को। केंद्र सरकार, राज्य सरकारें सबने मिलकर काम किया, और आप देखते हुए विपक्षी पार्टी थी, सबने कहा हम आपके साथ खड़े हैं। कांग्रेस प्रेसिडेंट सोनिया गांधी जी ने कहा पूरी पार्टी आपके साथ खड़ी रहेगी, प्राइम मिनिस्टर। इस रूप में जो मैसेज गया पूरे कंट्री के अंदर, और जिस प्रकार से कुछ पैकेज दिए गए सोशल सिक्योरिटी के लिए, राज्यों ने भी दिए, केंद्र में दिए, उसके कारण से पूरे देश में लॉकडाउन सफल भी रहा। और मैं समझता हूँ कि लोगों में शांति रही, सद्भाव रहा, क्योंकि लोगों को इकोनॉमिक पैकेज देने से उनकी परचेजिंग पावर बनी रही। दानदाताओं ने, भामाशाहों ने कोई कमी नहीं रखी, सबने आकर के इमदाद करी, गरीबों की, श्रमिकों की, किसानों की। उसके कारण चल गया, पर 1.5 महीना किसे कहते हैं, उससे अधिक समय हो गया। अब लोगों में कई तरह का असंतोष पैदा हो रहा था। मजदूरों की स्थिति आप देख लेते देश में क्या हो रहा है। अब जो उन्होंने लॉकडाउन 4 की बात की है और जिस प्रकार जो उन्होंने अभी कमेंट किया है, मैं उम्मीद करता हूं कि वो तमाम हकीकत समझ चुके हैं देश के अंदर। कल चीफ मिनिस्टर के साथ में उनकी रिशी हुई थी, उसके अंदर जो दिन पर उन्होंने 5-7 घंटे बातचीत करी, सब चीफ मिनिस्टर थे, तो पूरा फीडबैक उन्होंने ले लिया कि किस प्रकार से राज्यों में स्थिति है, किस प्रकार से लॉकडाउन खुले तो किस फेजेज में खुले, क्या क्या एक्टिविटी।
क्या हम ये मान सकते हैं कि राजस्थान में थोड़ी और ईजिंग होगी, काफी हद तक ईजिंग होगी? ये भी हो सकता है कि आप कंटेनमेंट जोन्स पे फोकस करें, पूरे डिस्ट्रिक्ट को रेड जोन ना बनाएं, जैसे दिल्ली में बात की जा रही है। कई राज्यों ने कल ये बात कही है कि राज्यों के ऊपर छोड़ दें किस तरह से कलर कोडिंग की जानी चाहिए। तो क्या राजस्थान में विल वी सी मोर ईजिंग अप?
देखिए, मैं उसी पॉइंट पे आ रहा था कि जिस प्रकार से राज्यों को फ्रीडम देना चाहिए कि वो वहाँ की स्थिति देख करके फैसले करें, चाहे वो रेड जोन हो, चाहे वो ऑरेंज हो, चाहे वो ग्रीन जोन हो। एक्टिविटी क्या क्या शुरू हो, लोकल स्थिति क्या है, सब दुकानें खुले, कितने घंटे तक कर्फ्यू का लगा रहे, वहाँ के लिए अलग पॉलिसी हो सकती है। परंतु बाकी जो एरिया है उसके लिए राज्य सरकारें ज्यादा सक्षम है, ज्यादा फीडबैक मिलता है उनको पब्लिक से, और उसी ढंग से फैसले करने चाहिए राज्यों को। तब जाकर के मैं समझता हूँ कि पब्लिक को कम से कम कष्ट होगा और उनको वापस कॉन्फिडेंस पैदा होगा। बिना कॉन्फिडेंस के आप आज मजदूर चला गया है, अब कैसे इंडस्ट्री प्रारंभ करना चाहेगा तो भी नहीं हो पाएगी
जी।
और मजदूर दिमाग में बात आ गई है कि चाहे कोई कुछ भी हो जाए, मुझे एक बार अपने गाँव जाना है, घर पे जाना है। इसलिए आप देखते हो कई इंडस्ट्री खुल चुकी है, रोकने की कोशिश करे, वो मना कर रहा है। इसलिए लॉकडाउन 4 की बात जो प्राइम मिनिस्टर ने करी है, कई तरह के नए फैसले होंगे। मैं समझता हूँ सब फीडबैक लेने के बाद में अब फैसले जो होंगे वो राज्यों पर ज्यादा निर्भर होने चाहिए, तब जाके मैं समझता हूँ वो फैसला सही हो पाएगा।
जी। Ashok Gehlot ji, any more questions for Ashok Gehlot ji?
Thank you so much,
Thank
Mr.
you.
Gehlot, for joining us right here on NDTV. और अब देखना होगा कि ये जो आर्थिक पैकेज जिसकी घोषणा की है, इस आर्थिक पैकेज में एग्जैक्टली है क्या, बिकॉज टुमारो देयर इज एन ऑल क्रूशियल प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस इन ऑल लाइकलीहुड वेयर द फाइनेंस मिनिस्टर इज गोइंग टू गिव आउट डिटेल्स. आई बिलीव वी हैव गॉट द चीफ मिनिस्टर ऑफ छत्तीसगढ़ एज वेल विद अस, भूपेश बघेल. बघेल साहब, मैं आपसे जानना चाहता हूं, आपने स्पीच सुनी, कल आप प्रधानमंत्री से मिले भी वीडियो कॉन्फ्रेंसिंग के माध्यम से. आज इस स्पीच के बारे में आपका क्या कहना है? आपको लगता है कि जैसे कि गहलोत साहब बोल रहे थे, देर आए दुरुस्त आए पैकेज के मामले में?
देखिए, इस मामले में माननीय राहुल गांधी जी ने शुरू से ही कहा था कि कोरोना संक्रमण के साथ साथ हमको आर्थिक दिशा में भी काम करने होंगे. माननीय सोनिया गांधी जी ने भी प्रधानमंत्री जी को पत्र लिखा था कि जो लघु और मध्यम श्रेणी के जो उद्योग हैं उसे आर्थिक पैकेज मिलना चाहिए. हम लोगों ने भी, सभी राज्यों के मुख्यमंत्री ने अलग अलग ढंग से आर्थिक पैकेज की मांग करी थी, क्योंकि न केवल मजदूरों की समस्या है, न केवल उद्योग और व्यापार की समस्या है, न केवल किसानों की समस्या है, बल्कि राज्य के राजस्व में भारी गिरावट आई है. तो ऐसे स्थिति में अब कल जो घोषणा होगी उसमें देखना होगा कि वो पैकेज क्या है, राज्यों को कितना मिलता है, उद्योगों को कितना मिलता है, और मजदूर और किसान को क्या मिलता है.
जी बघेल जी, प्रधानमंत्री ने जो लॉकडाउन पे बात करी कि ये जो नया फेज होगा लॉकडाउन का वो बिल्कुल डिफरेंट होगा, नए रूल्स आएंगे, स्टेट्स ने, राज्यों ने जो सजेस्ट किया है उन सबको ध्यान में रखा जाएगा. तो आपका जो राज्य है छत्तीसगढ़ जो है, क्या आप तैयार हैं काफी रिस्ट्रिक्शंस को हटाने के लिए? क्या आप चाहते हैं कि ट्रेन और हवाई जहाज चले?
देखिए, सबसे पहली बात तो यह है कि हमने छत्तीसगढ़ के लिए कल जब विसी हुई तो मैंने छत्तीसगढ़ की तरफ से मैंने कहा कि ये रेड जोन, ऑरेंज जोन और ग्रीन जोन डिक्लेयर करने का अधिकार राज्य सरकार को होना चाहिए. उदाहरण के तौर पर मैंने कहा रायपुर में 25 मार्च के बाद से एक भी कोरोना पॉजिटिव केस नहीं आया और अभी भी रेड जोन में दिखाया जा रहा है. तो ये निर्धारण करने की जिम्मेदारी राज्य सरकार को मिलना चाहिए और ये हवाई जहाज और रेल शुरू करने के लिए राज्य सरकार से सहमति लेकर ही शुरू करना चाहिए, क्योंकि जो हॉट स्पॉट से लोग आएंगे, रेड जोन एरिया से आएंगे, और उसकी क्या व्यवस्था होगी, तो उसके लिए अब जो प्लेन में आएंगे उनकी क्या व्यवस्था होगी, वो पेड क्वारंटाइन में रहेंगे कि गवर्नमेंट जो क्वारंटाइन सेंटर रखे हैं उसमें रहना चाहेंगे। ये बहुत सारी बातें हैं कि अचानक आवागमन शुरू कर देंगे तो बहुत सारी जो राज्य सुरक्षित है वो खतरे में पड़ सकता है। इसलिए राज्य के को विश्वास में लेकर ही ये ट्रेन और प्लेन चालू करना चाहिए।
बघेल साहब, मैं आपसे एक सवाल पूछना चाहता हूं श्रमिकों को लेकर के, क्योंकि जाहिर सी बात है आपका राज्य भी इससे बहुत हद तक प्रभावित है। प्रधानमंत्री ने आज अपने 32 मिनट की स्पीच में 5 बार श्रमिकों का और मजदूरों का जिक्र किया। उन्होंने ये भी बोला कि ये जो आर्थिक मदद, जो पैकेज जिसकी घोषणा उन्होंने की है 20 लाख करोड़ की, वो श्रमिकों के लिए भी होगा। वो मिडिल क्लास भी था, उसमें बिजनेसमैन भी थे, लेकिन श्रमिक का भी उन्होंने जिक्र किया। आपको क्या लगता है कि अभी क्या उनको जो उनकी इमीडिएट प्रॉब्लम है, अभी जो मुसीबत झेल रहे हैं, उसके बारे में बात करनी चाहिए थी, या एक लॉन्ग टर्म विजन देना भी ठीक था?
देखिए, एक तरफ ये है कि जैसे अभी राहुल जी ने ट्वीट करके कहा है कि 7,500 रुपये देना चाहिए, लेकिन अभी दूसरी बात यह है कि जो मजदूर सड़कों पे हैं उनको उनके गंतव्य तक पहुंचाने की जिम्मेदारी होनी चाहिए, जिसके बारे में कोई योजना नहीं भारत सरकार। हमारे छत्तीसगढ़ में अब जो महाराष्ट्र से, तेलंगाना से, आंध्र प्रदेश से, तमिलनाडु से पैदल चलते हुए हमारे यहाँ आ रहे हैं, और कहाँ जा रहे हैं? तो पश्चिम बंगाल की ओर जा रहे हैं, कोई उड़ीसा की ओर जा रहे हैं, झारखंड, उत्तर प्रदेश जा रहे हैं। और हमारे चूंकि हमारा प्रदेश मध्य में पड़ता है, अब हजारों के तादाद में रोज मजदूर चले जा रहे हैं, लेकिन कहीं कोई व्यवस्था नहीं। लेकिन हमने राज्य सरकार की ओर से ये व्यवस्था की है कि उनको उनकी गाड़ी की व्यवस्था करें, उनके भोजन और पानी की व्यवस्था कराएं। तो ये यदि ये पहले तैयारी कर लेते, जैसे मजदूरों के लिए आपने सभी जो बंदिशें उसे खत्म की, लेकिन इसकी व्यवस्था आपने नहीं की, और इसके कारण से हजारों लाखों की तादाद में मजदूर इस प्रदेश से उस प्रदेश जा रहे हैं। कहीं पे लाठीचार्ज हो रहा है, कहीं पे और कुछ हो रहा है, ट्रेन में लोग कट के मर रहे हैं। ये जो स्थिति है, बिना सोचे समझे कोई फैसला किए हैं, उसका दुष्परिणाम आज आम गरीब मजदूर भोग रहा है।
Ji, Bhupesh Baghel ji, thank you very much for joining us on NDTV this evening with your first reactions to the Prime Minister's announcements this evening. Thanks very much. So, 2 chief ministers there of Rajasthan and Chhattisgarh broadly welcoming, Sanket, this economic package, but everyone's waiting to see what the details are. We also are now joined by Mr. Ashwath Narayan, the Deputy Chief Minister of Karnataka this evening. And Mr. Narayan, thanks for being with us. Can I first ask you about the lockdown itself? What is Karnataka's plan here on? Clearly, it's from all indications, states are going to have a much bigger say now in how they want to proceed with easing of restrictions and so on. So, are you going to see a bigger easing up in Karnataka?
Madam, so far we were guided by Government of India with the Ministry of Health, Home Affairs. We were given a lot of guidelines that has really guided us through a lot of challenges we would have been facing. And the stance and the clarity was very essential, and it has given us a lot of strength. Probably down the line, the state government given more role in the lockdown 4 will be more appropriate, because the local conditions in a smaller way are some of the places where it requires a lot of local intervention. Probably it will be very advantageous, and I think down the line it will be good in the interest of the local conditions. Now, since we are very well aware of the challenges and how needs things to be handled, all those inputs and the behavior of the virus and the challenges we are able to understand. And I think down the line, because that virus is going to stay for a long, and we need to work out the strategy, and we need to handle in a more better way.
No, but Mr. Narayan, it seems that it is right now the wish list of the various states that they get more power or more control as far as deciding lockdown 4.0 is concerned. He has hinted, but as of now we don't know the exact details whether the states are going to get that or not. My question to you, Mr. Narayan, is how do you look at this package that has been released by the Prime Minister? Of course, nobody is greeting it with skepticism. In fact, it has been accepted well or taken well by opposition states also. But don't you think that we must wait for the details?
Yeah, definitely we need to wait for the details, sir. But at the outset, the size of the package is very attractive and it is very essential and very encouraging for the complete revival of the economy. Already the economic activity has started, but it needed a lot of boost and stimulus. This is probably the 20 lakh package in whatever form, but basically this is meant for the people in various sectors. I think this is very encouraging, sir. And we at the outset also we welcome this. And sir, I just wanted to make one point, sir. With regard to the relaxation in some of the places, particularly in red zones, there was a suggestion from by our Honorable Chief Minister of Government of Karnataka that in the red zone, particularly wherever there is a containment or the infected people live, there only the activity should be restricted. In rest remaining places of the red zone, the economic activity in full-fledged manner, it should be allowed. That was a request. It was not asking for us to give the power or transfer to handle. We never made a request, sir. But only thing is, take a consideration in the red zone, other than the containment area, we need to have economic activity was the main
That's very
request
important what you're saying. You're saying that that you would want to then therefore focus on restrictions only in containment zones, which are much smaller than entire districts, which is similar to what the Delhi Chief Minister has also said. So that would allow economic activities to open up on a much bigger scale.
Yes, madam. Yes, ma'am. That's a request we had. Our first and foremost request was that. And along with that, the way in the future the things to be taken up and the public transportation to be allowed. That was also one more request made by the government of Karnataka, and to for the people's movement. And we are very effectively handling the migration issue also. We are allowing people to go to their respective places and checking, screening them and receiving from various states. It has been a big logistics challenges, screening, and ensuring that none of the infected people, they move around. It's been very challenging for the entire country, for all the states and concern, coordination.
Yeah, yes, it's a huge challenge. And as the Prime Minister said that obviously everyone, you can't expect people to not care for the situation at this moment of the migrant laborers. Mr. Narayan, one question I wanted to ask of you. This package of 20 lakh crores, right? This amount is huge, 20 lakh crores. Many people say we'll have to wait for how much has already been given, how much will in fact be given. But there is an even bigger question, Mr. Narayan. Where will this money come from?
Sir, most important, so far the people are mentioning why he is not announcing, Honorable Prime Minister is not announcing any package. So far, even though many a times he has announced packages by Government of India, the package was given, a lot of liquidity was infused, there was Garib Kalyan packages, a lot that even then many of the opposition leaders were not satisfied. They have been consistently demanding why package is not been announced. Once package is announced, they have got many doubts, where will the money come from? So basically money can be generated, mobilized, there are various ways of doing so. That also very well, if the government is there to take that responsibility to address the concern of people. They've taken so much of a responsibility, and the decision has been taken to mobilize and generate and give to the people for this stimulus.
All right. Well, Mr. Narayan, thanks for joining us and giving us your perspective on what Karnataka may want to do. In fact, Sanket, it's looking increasingly like the roadmap ahead will be this, where containment zones, there'll be micromanagement of these smaller containment zones rather than sort of bigger districts which are currently locked down in entirety. Delhi being a prime example of that. We heard Karnataka say the same thing. So that may be the key to how we move forward.
But will it necessarily mean an improvement in the situation on the ground, or will it mean more chaos?
Well, I want to just bring up some numbers. If we could bring these graphics up that we have of what India's situation would have been if we had not locked down the way we did back in March. If we could bring those numbers up, because they are very telling. We're going to bring those numbers up in just 5 minutes, but those are very telling, Sanket, because they actually show that we would have had a phenomenally higher number of people dead. We would have had a much larger number of cases.
And we would not have been medically prepared.
And we wouldn't, all because of that, because of that. So that graphic's going to come up in just a moment. But Sanket, you want to go ahead?
In fact, the Prime Minister mentioned this in his speech as well. He said that this lockdown period, from a point where we had no PPE suit manufacturing capability or no mass manufacturing capability to now, within a matter of a few days, 40 or 45 days, where we have already manufactured 45 to 50 lakh PPE suits as well as masks. I think this is a point that he wants to mention about perhaps our response to ramp up the economy, to ramp up the manufacturing sector, the various sectors that have suffered because of the lockdown. So if you can do something with so much focus, sharp focus during the lockdown, then maybe in a post-lockdown period we can attain the same efficiency and maybe revive the economy.
Right. Well, we have Dr. Niranjan Hiranandani, one of the big real estate tycoons of the country, joining us on NDTV this evening. Mr. Hiranandani, your first reactions to the Prime Minister's announcement. It's a big package, but of course the devil will lie in the detail, as it always does.
Yes. So I think I'm very impressed with a couple of things. Number one is, I think this is the first and most visionary statement that I have heard from the Prime Minister in the last 6 years on the economic front. And I think it's very clear. It talks about economy, it talks about infrastructure, it talks about system, he talks about the demographics, he talks about demand, he talks about supply chain, and he talks about Make in India, and he is focused into every segment. So I think the economic side is quite clear with the Prime Minister. Number two, the figure of 20 lakh crores is good, even if it is not extremely well managed, and unless the bureaucrats really screw it up, that could be another story. But I think by and large, the intent is quite very clear that they would like to really make a good job out of it. And I think if it is targeted well into the segments that the Prime Minister announced, I think it will make a lot of difference. January 2021, you will see the markets turn around completely. And I would say the 6 months period will see this kind of infusion of money will help to bring back jobs back into the marketplace. And I think that's extremely important from what he said. Number two, he talks about the Make in India, and he still talks about the global issues. He talks about where the focus is going to be there, to what extent he wants us to be self-reliant. And he is very clear that this is the roadmap that he wants to take in the next couple of years. Infrastructure. I think this was mentioned by Mr. Gadkari a few days earlier also about the focus of infrastructure that India would take. I think a combination of all this and the announcement which we are hoping to do, and again, you're right, the devil is in the detail, and we will have to look forward to do. But I'm very optimistic and very pleased with the statements of the Prime Minister. It was very, very clear and precise.
I think the point, sorry to just interrupt, I think the point you're making is that this could actually be an opportunity to do some genuine reform. The Prime Minister's talked about that when he talked about the need to do bold reforms, and he's spelled out a bigger vision beyond an immediate economic package, right, Mr. Hiranandani? That's what you're hoping, will actually spur the government to bite the bullet and go whole hog.
Yes, I think that is very, very clear. And also the labor reforms which took place in UP and Madhya Pradesh in the last 1 week is a direction in that way, wherein they are very clear that they would like to see that what the factories which are leaving China should enter India and not go to Vietnam, as what has happened in the last 8-10 days.
Now, Dr. Hiranandani, your sector, that is the infrastructure sector, real estate sector, depends a lot. Mr. Hiranandani, are you there? Okay.
Yes.
Back. Now, Dr. Hiranandani, your sector depends a lot on migrant laborers. They're actually a pillar for the success of your industry. How much do you think should be the focus on migrant laborers, because they are in pain? And there is a reason why I'm asking you this question, because you would know. You would need them when we start to...
And how are you going to get them back?
How will you get them back? What should be the focus? How much money needs to be pumped in?
So long and short of it is that I think the management of migrant labor was extremely wrong, and a lot of pain has gone in there. They are actually afraid about coming back to the cities and the things. But I think from what indications we have got now, they are reconsidering what is being happening, which means that trains are starting. Maharashtra government has started buses to take these migrant laborers. I think they've realized that they have blundered in this regard and they need to set this situation right. But it will take time to get these people back because I think they will need the confidence about how the whole situation going to be there. Are we going to lock down again if there is a second wave? What will happen in those circumstances? Nobody can tell the right answer. But one thing is certain. We made a mistake. We shouldn't ever make it again in not looking after that segment completely. But the mistake is over. All we need to do is to really take care to see that this labor is taken care of. I think the Prime Minister has said it very clearly that he's going to see to it that all these people will be taken care of, whether it is done through Manrega in the villages or in any other format of direct money transfer. Only time will tell. But this mistake, they will have to look after so that it's never, ever repeated again.
But it's good that you're optimistic and hopeful that things can turn around in the next 6 months or so, because it is going to be painful in the immediate term. But it's good that you think that we are heading in the right direction. Mr. Hiranandani, thanks very much for joining us this evening. Well, we also have Lalita Kumaramangalam, member of the BJP, joining us this evening. And Ms. Kumaramangalam, the Congress has already criticized, I just want to take out Randeep Singh Surjewala's tweets saying that, dear Prime Minister, you have given the country and the media a headline today when the blank page is filled with the heartfelt help of people, the mammoth, heartbreaking human tragedy of migrant workers walking back home needed compassion, care and their safe return. India is deeply disappointed by your lack of empathy to address their woes. If you could sort of respond to that, ma'am, and this criticism from the Congress this evening in its first reaction officially.
Yeah, the Congress, I think, necessarily has to criticize the BJP. I don't think the headlines today, or at least the reaction from today, really needed to refer to anything but the Prime Minister's speech and the very clear messages that he sent out today. However, yes, there has been a human tragedy, which is not just about the migrants, but the entire COVID epidemic, which has been unprecedented and totally, sprung by surprise on India. I think you yourself had shown some figures where you showed that the lockdown was necessary and has saved us from probably a far greater human tragedy that would have hit the country if we had not locked down so quickly and so strictly. Now, in a country of 1.36 billion people, there are bound to be stories which are very, very unfortunate, and everybody is very regretful about that, including, I'm sure, the entire government. The Congress is in the opposition. It's their job, I suppose, to criticize the BJP. But I wish that the Congress would also look at the positive side of what was said by Prime Minister Modi today. Not only was the amount unprecedented and very encouraging from all sectors, for all sectors, and I think the reaction has been extremely,
well, actually, the chief ministers have welcomed it. The Congress chief ministers like Ashok Gehlot, who was just on this program, said that, better late than never, that it's a good amount and they're waiting to see what the details are. In fact, we have Abhishek Singhvi of the Congress party.
Have appreciated that.
Yeah, Abhishek Singhvi of the Congress party, who is still in the Congress party, joining us this evening. Dr. Singhvi, just to get, your thoughts, Lalita Kumaramangalam says that you all just criticize everything. Is there nothing positive you saw to take away from this speech?
Let me start, Nidhi, by telling you that I'm very impressed to know that you give so much weight to a stray tweet, which is then carried by social media. I hope you give the same amount of weight to every rumor, with that aside. I'm sure you should not be selective in the future. Secondly, I would be the first to clap from the rooftops, welcome the flypasts and the rose petals. And I really genuinely today welcome the 20 lakhs provided, there's a big proviso, that this really adds up on the map. As they say, both God and devil lie in the details. Last time the Prime Minister came with this package, it was 1.7 lakh crores. it turned out the effective package additional for COVID was only 1/3 of that, 0.7% of GDP. So what was already budgeted in the normal budget was added. The additional amount was only 0.7%. Now this time, in case, and we will have to wait, today there is no detail, some kind of a monetary policy is mixed with the fiscal injection. That is not really a fiscal injection. Let me give an example. What is additional is the crucial question. And I have my doubts where this additional 20 lakh crores is going to come from. And that maths we have to wait for. But let me unqualifiedly say that I would applaud even a little less than 20 crores if it is truly additional fiscal injection.
Maybe
for
we
example,
can ask this question.
Is it repurpose? Is it, just give me 1 minute,
Yeah.
half a minute. Is it repurpose or is it additional? Let me give you an example. Suppose the government says, I give you a cover to the banks, that if you loan out, I will protect you to 1 lakh crore cover. And the banks give out 7 lakh crore on the basis of that cover. The Prime Minister's announcement cannot include 7 lakhs as part of his package. It has to be only 1 lakh. So these are the, as I said, devil and God lie in the details. Where this money is coming from, how much is real, genuine, additional, not already in the budget, and how much is of it is there, then only
fair
will
enough.
speak. We'll be very welcome.
We've got Dr. Singhvi's point. Lalita Kumaramangalam, see, in a nutshell, what he's trying to say is that how much of this amount is recirculated, which has already been accounted for, how much of it will be new, and where will this money come from?
Mr. Singhvi is trying to say is it going to be good mathematics? You take from here, add something here, deduct something there, or is it actually going to be plus plus? Now, as he has said, and a lot of people before me and after me too will say, we don't know the details. But I think that when the Prime Minister has said very clearly 10% of the GDP, I don't think he's going to say of this that if we give 1 lakh crores and the bank lends 7 lakh crores, then it's 7 lakh crores. I don't think that's what he meant, because the Prime Minister is not in that sense, or in any sense actually, financially naive, to put it very politely. He is a man who has run a state extraordinarily successfully, and he even mentioned, if you remember, somewhere towards the beginning of his speech, where he talked about the massive earthquake that they had in Gujarat and how they recovered from that. So I think he's well aware of the fact that it has to be mostly, if not 100%, I would say at least 90 to 95%, I would be an additional interjection of cash into the economy.
And where will that
come
from?
So that various sectors
Lalita
can,
Kumaramangalam, see, my point is all sectors need help, all sectors need assistance.
Yes, yes.
But where will that money, I would say even the center needs assistance. The GST collections are low, revenues are down.
Sanket, I am not in a position to give you an answer to that, because I don't work in the government either as a bureaucrat or as in governance.
Sure.
But I do know that if the government wants to find it, they will find the money. There are many ways of finding the additional money. All of us know that. But until the government themselves announces, or whenever they announce, how they are going to come up with this additional financing, I don't think it's up to me. I will be only speculating. And speculating doesn't really, doesn't really help at all. But the commitment made was very, very clear. And Mr. Modi is aware that, there are a lot of cudgels which are out for him. So I don't think here, not only Mr. Modi, several states where regardless of which party may be in power, are facing a lot of economic problems. Everybody will be wanting to wait and see
that
they do
what
their
the
best
details are.
for
What
their
the details
electorate.
are. I just want to go across to Mr. Vikram Kirloskar, the head of the CII, the industry body, Preeta Reddy, the vice chairperson of Apollo Hospitals, also joining us. Let's get first reactions from both of them. Mr. Kirloskar, to you first. It's a big package that has been announced, and industry had been demanding this for such a long time. Is this more than you had actually expected?
We had asked for about 15 lakh crores in our latest submission. We had initially started, I think, about 4 weeks ago with 7.5 lakh crores, but we upped it and we asked for 15 lakh crores through in various different areas. So I'm really very happy. Today I wasn't expecting anything like this in the speech. I was expecting that we are going to go on for further lockdown and things. Of course, we are having a modified lockdown, but this was most unexpected and most welcome.
Right, but Mr. Kirloskar, just again on the larger point that the Prime Minister also made about being self-reliant, a new slogan, the emphasis on Make in India, local production, etc. Is there any concern at all that some are already expressing, some experts, that this may make India look inwards, become more protectionist as an economy? Or even though the Prime Minister said that would not be the case, but are you hoping that we don't sort of turn inward as a result of this?
Listen, this 20 lakh crore is a huge package. There's no need to say that it involves a huge amount of borrowing by the country, probably money printing, and it's going to change our whole debt structure of the country for some time. The foreign rating agencies are also going to look at us differently. So we have to be responsible industrialists, industry, business, whatever, to make sure we get a return on this 20 lakh crore. I think what the Prime Minister was trying to say was encouraging everyone, please use this 20 lakh crore to the best of your ability so that there is a return on it. If we can get a return on it, we can make the country grow. It's our responsibility to work hard to get a return on it. And I think that's what it means. And that's why he talked about the reforms as well, because the money coupled with reforms is what can make the country grow. So I'm looking forward not only to the package as it comes out, but also to the reforms he's talking about.
Preetha Reddy, let's take it up from there. The point that Mr. Kirloskar seems to be making. He says that this has to incrementally take us to the next level of reforms. And a lot of that was mentioned in the Prime Minister's speech. Do you think now is the time? Is this the perfect time to engage in structural reforms?
Is this question?
If we don't seize the opportunity now, we will never happen again. So I think now is the time in history, India in the 21st century. 20 lakh crores, 10% of GDP is not a small sum. So I think we should take it, become very responsible, quick, fast, nimble, and deliver high quality on whichever aspect which needs to be done. I would look at a focus in agriculture. Can we become self-reliant on food? Can our infrastructure quickly become truly world-class? Because there's a lot which can be done and it provides jobs for people. Can Make in India be a true reality now? Can we really manufacture high quality, high end? Because we're capable of, very good quality engineering goods. I come from the healthcare sector. I know the outcomes in India are second to none in the world. We are globally up there in terms of benchmarking. So why can't we do more in India? And the pharma, as we've all been seeing, hearing, they have stepped up. And, I think all these industries, service sectors, the IT industry again, if we can do so much more, I think we can really become a force to reckon with. And now that the Prime Minister has been supportive, now that he's led from the front, and, we could have been so much worse off with this.
The reason why I asked you this question on why now is because most of the points that the Prime Minister has highlighted, that these are the places or the key areas where we need reforms, are areas that we already know. For instance, we know that our systems must be in place. For instance, we know that we need reforms in infrastructure, we need greater infrastructure, in rules, right? To have mentioned and to go ahead and implement it are two totally different things. Do you think now we'll be able to?
Or perhaps have greater political courage to now, given the crisis?
One is there is political courage. It's very visible and we know it. Second is, if you're pushed off into the deep end, you'll have to swim, you don't want to drown. And I think the situation is such that we really have to do something literally to save ourselves and our country. And if we don't do it now, then then you sink. So I think most Indians realize that.
Right. Preetha Reddy, Mr. Kirloskar, thank you very much for joining us with your first reactions. We would love to have you back on the program once the Finance Minister announces the details of this economic package. We'd like to go across to Mumbai now. We're joined by Maharashtra's Home Minister Anil Deshmukh. Maharashtra, of course, key sanket because it has the maximum number of cases, Mumbai in particular. Anil Deshmukh ji, सबसे पहले आप बताइए कि प्रधानमंत्री ने जो नए लॉकडाउन की बात करी in the 4th phase, क्या महाराष्ट्र में, मुंबई में कुछ चेंजेस आएंगे आगे कुछ दिनों में?
पहली बात तो आज जो माननीय पंतप्रधान जी ने जो ऐलान किया है इकोनॉमिक का, जो करीबन 20 लाख करोड़ की जो ऐलान किया है, अभी उसके बारे में सवाल है कि कौन से राज्य को कितना पैसा मिलता है और कौन से सेक्टर के लिए मिलता है। उसका जो फाइनेंस मिनिस्टर जब वहां पे पूरा उसका ब्यौरा देंगे, पूरा जानकारी देंगे हर एक स्टेट को, तो मालूम पड़ेगा कि किस प्रकार से हर एक स्टेट को इसका फायदा हो सकता है। आज जब तक केंद्र शासन इसके बारे में डिटेल्स नहीं देता तब तक उसके बारे में कहना आज मुश्किल है।
बिल्कुल सही।
लेकिन ओवरऑल मैं आपको बताना चाहूंगा कि महाराष्ट्र में, जैसे मुंबई की आपने बात किया है, मुंबई में काफी एरिया जो हमारा है कंटेनमेंट जोन है, हमने पूरे महाराष्ट्र को अलग अलग हिस्सों में बांट दिया है। जैसे कि ग्रीन जोन अलग है, उसमें ऑरेंज जोन है, बाद में रेड जोन है, बाद में कुछ इलाके हमारे कंटेनमेंट जोन में है, वहां पे बड़ी रिस्ट्रिक्टेड एक्टिविटी हमने चालू की है। और अभी 17 तारीख के बाद में जो भी केंद्र शासन ने गाइडलाइन दी है, उसके पहले 17 तारीख के पहले ही हम 17 तारीख के बाद में किस प्रकार से लॉकडाउन को बढ़ाया जा सकता है या नहीं बढ़ाया जा सकता, उसका पूरा डिटेल, और कौन से जोन में कौन से शहर आते, कौन से गांव आते, उसका पूरा डिटेल राज्य शासन 17 तारीख के पहले हमारे मुख्यमंत्री साहब उसको जाहिर करेंगे।
नहीं देशमुख जी, ये तो आपकी बात मुझे समझ में आ गई कि पैकेज के बारे में और लॉकडाउन के बारे में तो डिटेल देख करके ही, जाहिर सी बात है, वो समझ में आने वाली बात है। मैं अब श्रमिकों के बारे में बात करना चाहता हूं, माइग्रेंट लेबरर्स, यू नो दीज वर्ड्स, ये जो शब्द हैं श्रमिक और मजदूर, इसका जिक्र प्रधानमंत्री ने 5 बार किया अपनी स्पीच में, लेकिन और उन्होंने ये भी जताया, हमदर्दी जताने की कोशिश की कि वो जिस तरीके की कठिनाई वो झेल रहे हैं वो कभी नहीं देखी गई है और वो हर कोई उसके बारे में सोचता है। मैं आपसे ये पूछना चाहता हूं कि आगे चल के इन श्रमिकों को राहत पहुंचाने के लिए क्या कदम उठाए जाने चाहिए केंद्र सरकार द्वारा और आपके द्वारा?
पहली बात तो जो श्रमिक की बात है या जो भी माइग्रेंट लेबर्स है, सबसे ज्यादा तादाद उसकी महाराष्ट्र में है, और सबसे ज्यादा महाराष्ट्र में भी, मुंबई में उसकी तादाद बहुत ज्यादा है। बाकी सभी स्टेट से हमारे महाराष्ट्र में इसकी बहुत ज्यादा तादाद है। हम शुरू से इसके बारे में जल्द से जल्द केंद्र शासन ने ट्रेन चालू करना चाहिए, उसके बारे में हम जिक्र कर रहे थे। बीच में केंद्र शासन ने यह भी जाहिर किया था कि करीबन 85% रेलवे प्रशासन इनका किराया देंगी, लेकिन जाहिर करने के बावजूद भी रेलवे प्रशासन ने ऐसा निर्णय इसकी घोषणा की लेकिन जाहिर नहीं किया। उसके लिए अभी गवर्नमेंट ऑफ महाराष्ट्र ने अपने खुद के बजट से, हमारे इसमें से खुद अभी किराया, हम जो माइग्रेंट लेबर अपने गांव जाना चाहते हैं, जो ट्रेन में जाना चाहते हैं, उसका किराया हम अभी,
नहीं तो मैं यही तो पूछना चाह रहा हूं देशमुख जी, अभी भी ऐसे लगता है जैसे कि देयर इज नो क्लियर पॉलिसी कि हम अपने में से दे रहे हैं और वो अपने में से।
In fact, let's ask Aruna Roy about that. Aruna Roy is joining us as well, and Aruna ji, just to ask you on this, on the issue of migrants in particular, we don't know how much the economic package is going to, so how it will be divided for India's poor. But would you have liked to have seen a greater mention of what they're going through in the address?
First of all, I think a big figure like 20 lakh crores means nothing unless we know the fine print and how much money is going to go to which sector, because it really is a huge overarching scenario of expenditure. Certainly, we are sorely disappointed because we expected some immediate recourse for all the crores of workers who are migrant workers who are stranded in various states and have undergone some very, very severe hardships. It would have been extremely wonderful if that had come through. And actually, along with that, we would have been very happy if he had said he's setting aside all these so-called reforms to the labor laws, because the labor laws have not been reformed. It is a regression in which all the workers' rights have actually been, many of the workers' rights have been actually taken away. Now, when these two things are not there in the Prime Minister's address, speaking about a Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam doesn't really mean anything but
Right.
platitude so far as we are
Although
concerned.
industry is
What we
welcoming
would
is welcoming these changes. I'm afraid we're out of time, but Aruna Roy, apologies,
just
we're out
one
of time.
thing-
We'd like to call you
one
back
more
because there's a
thing,
bigger debate we
one
need to
more-
have on these labor laws. There is a much bigger debate. In fact, that's what I was planning to do tonight. Suddenly, the Prime Minister's address to the nation was announced instead. So I think we need to look at this in far more detail. Thank you to all of you for joining us this evening. Much more analysis coming up, but